boys, we got some more shop equipment, some very serious, real deal shop equipment. Can't even describe how excited I am to have this stuff in my own shop. It is some baller stuff. Let's, I gotta figure out how to get it off here. So that's step number one. I didn't account for how tall it was gonna be, and my straps by themselves were not quite long enough. So I had to double strap it. Pretty nerve-wracking drive home, I'll be honest. It's a lot of straps. Ta-da! Thing number one, big, massive, beefy air compressor. I need to measure this and make sure it's gonna fit through the door into the back enclosed portion, and then I don't think it's gonna fit through the door into where I'm gonna keep it. I really don't think it's gonna fit through there. Gotta figure out how I bolt one there, bolt one here. All right, we got the compressor off. It was a bit of a struggle, but we figured out a system and we got it back into its home, which is back in this little closet room I've got back here. So that's there. I still have to wire it up, and then, oh, they got it open. Look at that. Drop it. Wow, boom, tire machine. And for those of you who tell me how my neighbors are gonna hate me, my neighbor is here helping me unload this stuff. So I got lucky, I got good neighbors. All right, that doesn't look that bad. No. It's more compact than I thought, all folded up.
Dude, it's got a little air.
Oh, air tank for the cheetah, its own cheetah. Yeah. All right, so we just gotta finish breaking this crate down and then try to figure out how to get this thing off. All right, we got the tire machine unloaded and in position. This one, surprisingly, being heavier and bigger, was a little easier than the compressor because we were able to chain from the mounting point to the other mounting point. We were able to get it balanced this way, and then Josue had the idea of putting a ratchet strap from here to the engine hoist, and that allowed us to balance it this way, and then we just rolled it over here with the engine hoist. So this one wasn't too much of a struggle. It wasn't too bad. Luckily, my neighbor Chris was walking by when I started undoing the crates and started taking the crates apart and was like, hey, do you need a hand? Because we definitely could not have done it without him. He's an awesome neighbor. Both of my neighbors are amazing. I have the best freaking neighbors. People are like, when I put the lift up, they're like, oh, your neighbors are gonna hate you. Meanwhile, my neighbors were here helping me put the lift up. They're so cool, man. They're so cool. And they make us cakes for holidays, and I could not have gotten any luckier with the neighbors. They were freaking great. But anyway, so he was here. He helped. So that worked out. We got that there. And then I talked about tearing this closet down originally, but I decided I'm going to put the air compressor in here, so I put that in here, and then this is going to be kind of a storage closet. I might put a parts washer sink here since I have the plumbing for it. I'm not 100% sure, but I'd like to do some shelves and then just be able to shove stuff like the pressure washer, a shop vac, and that kind of stuff in here. Keep it out of the way, out of sight, out of mind. This compressor is nuts. So I'm so used to like the home gamer stuff, right? The basic, cheap, run-of-the-mill stuff. And man, what a drastic difference going from that stuff to this. I mean, I've moved a similar sized air compressor with two people like picking it up and carrying it. No way you're doing that with this. This thing weighs like 650 pounds. It's nuts. This thing is a beefy unit, does not even begin to describe how freaking gnarly this thing is. It is stout, man. And the reason I wanted to go with industrial level, like higher quality stuff is because after having used the home style, cheaper stuff for so long, like, it basically just taught me that it's worth it. You know, I mean, at Ben's house, the compressor, it was a name brand compressor, and we went through like 2 or 3 pumps on that thing, and the pump would die at the worst time. You'd be getting ready to mount 20 tires for a drift event, and the pump would die, and you're like, shoot, now you got to go pay someone to mount them last minute, and I didn't want to deal with that. And kind of the same thing with the tire machine. I've always used and had cheaper tire machines, and then I've used one of these, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is next level. This is like towing with a dually versus trying to tow an enclosed with like a freaking S10. Like, it is night and day difference. And not only just is it easier because we have this power arm to help push the bead down, help pull the bead up, which is always a nightmare on low pros, but we can do anything on this. You know, we can do a freaking 26-inch wheel. We could do my truck tires. I had to go pay a truck shop like $300 to mount those tires, and could have just done it myself if I had the right tire machine. So it just kind of all goes back to I didn't want to limit myself. I did same thing with the lift. Instead of I normally work on smaller cars, I could have got by with a smaller lift, but I wanted to get a big beefy 10,000 pound lift so that I could do anything I wanted. If I wanted to put the Fummins on it, I could. And I could do it, and something in the future. And I'm basically trying to set the shop up, future-proof it, you know? I don't want to get something simpler or more basic now because, oh, I could get by, and then later I need something better, and then I've got to get rid of the one and get a better one to do what I need to do or not be able to do it. I like being able to do every single thing I possibly can myself. And this equipment is going to allow me to do that, basically. So I'm super excited. I'll go into kind of the features of the tire machine and stuff when we get set up. But we've got some more work to do before we can hook everything up. So I routed wiring, boom, over into here with a plug for the compressor preemptively, so I'd just be done. However, I use 10 gauge wire, and it needs to be 8 gauge wire, and realistically needs to be just hardwired into the compressor. So yeah, I basically got to take out the wiring I already did, toss it to the side, and route some 8 gauge wire. So I've got 8 gauge, I've got flexible conduit, I got clamps, I got the exact right connector to go into the box. I got everything I need. Moral of the story is, we got to run some 8 gauge wire to our dang compressor so we can turn it on. It's good to work. I was gonna go ahead and route this to be a welder plug because my welder is gonna go there, but I don't know exactly where it's gonna go. I gotta cut this shorter anyway, so I'm just gonna wrap it up, take it out entirely. So I'm just putting the switch box back on. I had taken this off just to get it in this door. This is a pretty small door. Looking at it, I didn't think it was gonna fit, but measuring it, it fit. You know, it was supposed to fit, and it fit. Just had to take this guy off. Alright, so like I said, we got basically the same connector to come out with our wire. We gotta figure out where we want to route it. This will probably have to go like this. I was originally wanted to go this way, but that's gonna be sloppy. We have to just feed this in from the top and route it so we know how much we need to cut. All right, I've got the wiring all routed from the machine to the breaker box. So you can see we got flexible conduit, boom, boom. Got a 90 up there that puts it above the rafters. It's Romex, boom, boom, boom. Down into that 90, boom, down here. Comes in here, goes along the roof there, comes down here, and right into the switch. I was super happy to be able to find almost an identical connector. So we've got a 90 in, 90 out to the motor, looks all nice. Now we do have a problem here. We can't use the compressor because this being such a big, beefy, industrial grade compressor, the outlet is huge. I believe it's 3/4 inch NPT. And the hose, like your normal hose, is 1/4 inch NPT. So I couldn't find a reducer fitting to get me by for now and just run a rubber hose from this to there in the meantime. Just to use the compressor in the tire machine, I'm gonna have to wait till I get all my hard plumbing stuff in, which is already ordered, and I hard plumb it. So kind of a bummer. Again, I wanted to just set it up temporarily for now just to use it and show you guys both of them in action. But yeah, slight oversight on my part. So what we are going to do though is hard plumb it. So we're going to have a drop here so we can run an air hose, you know, in the shop in general, but most likely on this workbench. So you can use air tools here. Then it's going to go up, over, boom, down right here to run the tire machine, and then one go all the way to the end there. I'm gonna put a hose reel in between what will be the bay doors, and then that way I can use the hose reel to do tires and do stuff in here and also out there. So like if I pull the trailer out, I gotta air up some trailer tires, I'll have 50 feet to go out there and air tires up. So that should pretty much cover us for the whole shop. But that's going to be a little time consuming because we got to basically hard plumb in, do fittings and all this stuff. Long-winded way of saying we can't use the tire machine or the air compressor, and it's kind of a bummer. But what we can use is the old lift. So I haven't shown you guys the lift in operation yet. We got it all wired up. It's ready to go. It's working. I've tested it out. So yeah, I want to show you guys how the old girl works. This thing's it's a pretty solid unit. So let's put the Saphiro on it and try it out. Man, I gotta say, it is a pretty cool feeling to have this car in the air, in my shop, on my own lift, with my nice tire machine over there in the corner, even though we can't use it right now, but still, it's over there, we have it. All high quality Bendpak Ranger stuff, all higher end versions, you know, like, I'm just so excited for this. It is so cool to finally have my own shop, and not only that, but to set it up with everything I've ever wanted and all nice versions of that. So like, I know it's all gonna last. I know it's gonna be here in 20, 30 years and still working because I got quality units. So feels good. Feels good. And this is the first time I've got to see under this car with it on the lift since we put the engine in. So it's interesting. You can see our steering rack just clears in our notch. See the turbo manifold where it's, oh gosh, dude, having a lift again. So it wasn't even that long I had to go without having one, but I did, you know, we put this engine in, I rebuilt this trans mount and all that stuff, you know, on my back, and to be able to stand in here and look at it, it just makes life 756 times easier. I mean, so much easier. So yeah, anyway, that is the lift, works like a champ. The coolest thing, some people were like, why are the posts tilted on this lift? And the reason is you kind of offset the car back and then you can open the door almost all the way. And that is huge because that is one of the biggest annoyances building a car on a lift is if you have to work inside it. When I was building the Miata, if I had it on the lift, I needed to work inside of it. Even if it didn't have suspension, I'd put it on dollies, roll it out from under the lift because you could only open the door, you know, like not even a foot. And then you're trying to crawl in there. So it sounds like something silly. That would just be like, oh, that's not like mildly better, but it is way better. Let me lower it down and show you how far we can open the doors. Like almost full door range. Like I can literally easily get in and out of this thing. I can work in here, no problem. Like I can do my wiring, mount my ECU and all of that with the car still on the lift. Like, that is a game changer. I really didn't think this would make as much of a difference as it does. It makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Like, look at that. And if we had the car a little further back, if this was a two-door, the car would kind of be a little further back and you could open the door even further. But I mean, a normal lift, you can get it to about there. Nope. These doors shut like crap. One thing I want to do real quick, we don't have air to hook up to this thing, but we can at least wire up the power cord and plug it in and do spinny things with it. I found these little Rubbermaid totes and these even littler, what brand are these? Commander? I have the big versions of these. The little ones are just hilarious. They just look so funny, they're so small. There we go. But yeah, I got all my wiring stuff nice and organized now. Since I have accumulated a lot over the last few shop equipment projects. Got the plug wired on. Oh, can't remember if I have that breaker on or not. Oh, yeah, look at that. Well, at least we can use one part of it. Just can't use the whole air part of it, which would be like, ka-chow, open. Just imagine it opening. Now it's closing. See? Well, isn't that amazing? Well, sweet, it works. All right, so we gotta run the compressor with the drain valve open so it doesn't really experience any load to break the pump in. It's pretty dang quiet in there. The air coming out the valve is the loudest part. Once I had this like closed in and insulated some and put a door there, it really won't be bad at all to have that thing inside. I originally wanted to put it outside and have like a box for it, but this works better. It's too nice to put it outside. You can literally hardly hear it out here. Like I said, you hear the air more than anything, and it's right here. That's awesome. Such a big beefy compressor. That thing is quiet. Sick. All right, well, we ran it through its break-in cycle. Once we did that, closed the valve, ran it all the way up to its pressure. It shut off at the right pressure. I let the air back out to the point where it should turn on. It turned back on. Everything is bueno. So I'm stoked. This thing is all wired up and working, ready to rip. We just need, I've got my air hose, one of my fittings. Some of my airline stuff came in today, but I still need the rest, the hardline stuff. This will be the feed line to the regulator, 1/2 inch. This will be the feeder line to this, which is the hose reel, and then so on and so forth. You get the idea. I need the rest of the hard plumbing kit to plumb all my drops in. So I'm excited. I'm excited to do this right and have the multiple different drops, no dragging an air hose everywhere, and it's going to be really nice. Also, while I was on my wiring extravaganza, I got these new light switches in. So before, one was up for on, the other one was down for on. So you'd have to flip them like that, which is super annoying. Now they both go up for on, down for off. Like they should be. It feels nice too. They're nice and white. I mean, I guess that's not going to last very long. But yeah, air compressor is ready to go besides plumbing. Tire machine is in position. Be very long until we get the shop closed in. The shop should be closed in here in a week or so. We've got it scheduled. It's just kind of contingent on permits. I know that can take a long time, especially like with all the holidays, but hopefully that all goes through according to plan and on the time frame. But yeah, I gotta say, man, it feels so cool to come out here and see this beautiful beast of a tire machine with the lift, with my car on it. It's so cool that they're all matching, getting all the same brand stuff. I can't even describe what this feels like. I really can't. Like, having my own place to work has been a dream for such a long time, even if it was just a 2-car garage, just my own 2-car garage without anybody else's stuff in the way, anybody else to work around, just my own, that I could set up and organize and set it up exactly how I want it, to have my own shop at my own house, to have a freaking sick lift, an incredible tire machine that I can do any of my wheels on and will make life way easier mounting my drift wheels. I can get more 3-piece wheels because they won't be such a nightmare. Like, to have that, to have a sick compressor that won't even blink an eye at any of the things I'm gonna throw at it. To have all of that at my own shop is so sick. And it still doesn't really feel real, you know, because I'm still in the limbo mode with the shop not being closed in yet. You know, like, that's gonna be gone. A bunch of the stuff in there, like the toolbox and stuff's gonna be out here. Those tires will be up on racking. Parts will be up on racking. Things won't be so messy and unorganized. Everything will be like in its place and where it should be. And I am so excited for that. I cannot wait to get this place closed in and for everything to be able to at least start the basis of setting everything up and putting everything where it needs to go. So yeah, I'm excited, man. It feels surreal. I just can't wait to get this place fully set up and do more work in it. We have plenty more work to do. We got cars to work on. We got more shop work to do. We got all the things to do. But that being said, that's going to be it for this video. I hope to see you guys for the next one. But for now, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Goodbye.